is the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
Supported by Albertsons.
And brought to you by Miller Lite, the only beer of the Cowboys. Tastes like Miller time. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys. Luke Casey, the official bootmaker of the Dallas Cowboys. Blockchain.com. Invest like your icons with Blockchain.com. Alltech Lansing. Just listen with Alltech Lansing, perfecting sound since 1927. And by Omni Hotels and Resorts, the official hotel of the Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your hosts,
Nicole Hutchison and Brad Sham.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming out.
There we go.
Thank you for stopping while you're finishing your Christmas shopping and dropping into Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. Our regular Monday night stop for only one more Monday after this. Pout. Until next year. Next year. Next calendar year, next football year. But that's for next week. We're delighted to be here tonight. By applause, everybody who came out to join us at Sidecar Social tonight, who has finished their Christmas shopping. That's most people.
Maybe.
Okay. Maybe. Okay. Well, we're very happy to have you here. A very short week for the Cowboys, obviously turning around and getting on an airplane day after tomorrow and going to Washington to spend Christmas in Maryland, not quite the nation's capital. Well, actually, we'll be hoteling in the nation's capital. So the Christmas game against the Commanders, and we are just delighted. I am especially delighted and personally excited to have one of my favorite Cowboys long snapper, Trent Sieg, with us tonight. Thank you for coming out and doing this.
Of course.
Appreciate that.
Pleasure to be here.
So much to discuss, and we will, as always, thank all of you who have come out to be with us at the Star District in Frisco at Sidecar Social, all of you who are joining us on the Dallas Cowboys radio network, wherever you may be, and all of you who are watching us, streaming whenever or wherever you are on DallasCowboys.com. Hi, y'all. How y'all doing? Thanks for doing this. So the Cowboys, of course, had to have a walkthrough today because it's Thursday, and this is the same thing that obtains on Thanksgiving week, and we don't do a show on Thanksgiving week because it's a ridiculously short week. And why are we doing one tonight? Because I couldn't talk them into giving us 2 days off. So we're here to do this one, and it's really very generous of any player to come out on a Thursday night before a game and do this. So Trent, I'm really grateful. And I must acknowledge our regulars who sit at the table over here to our left, who after a win, this is the Victory Monday Club.
Okay.
But tonight it is the diehard fan club for Look Ahead to year 2026. I'll give you a round of applause. Way to go, you guys.
Does the name change week to week then, or?
They're very creative. Don't dare them. However, that does give us an on-ramp into one of the things I think that's potentially difficult or not, depending on your attitude, when you're a team sport athlete and there are games left to play, but you know you're not going to be in the postseason. Some people find some players find that harder to find motivation. Others say it's my job. I'm going to go do it. What's your take? Because you've had it both ways.
Yeah, and unfortunately I have had it both ways. But yes, it's definitely, like you said, it's your job. But to me, there's just a lot of pride in going out and doing your job the right way. And you're still always going out there, putting stuff on film. And we got to this level because we're competitors, and whenever you go out there, you want to beat the guy across from you, no matter what the score is, no matter where the season's at. Like you never want to look bad, and you want to go out there and perform to the utmost of your ability. And another kind of sad part of this business is you never know when it's going to be the last snap, and you don't want to give anyone an opportunity to think that.
And when you know that the season is coming to an end, and also just every year in the NFL, teams turn over 25%. But in your group, well, you and Brian Anger are under contract for next year.
Yes.
And the kicker will be at some point very soon, I hope.
Yes, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
On that one.
And I really thought that was kind of critical for keeping him by getting you two under contract, because you're his comfort zone. But when you know it's coming down and the group that you're playing with is going to change, how much does that motivate you to, hey, let's just do this? This is the last time we are going to do it together for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely some of that, and kind of venturing out into the unknown, where, like you said, you don't necessarily know who's going to be back next year. You don't know if someone's going to retire. You don't know if there's going to be a surprise trade or somebody get cut and something happened during training camp or injuries. So there is a lot of these are my brothers. We've worked and bled and sweat and cried together over the last year, and I think something that this team really has is just a crazy amount of camaraderie in that locker room, and just it's a really good culture, and a testament to Shoddy for helping to build it. And there's just, you want to play for the man next to you, and you always want to go out on a win, and just like I said, we're competitors and do whatever we can for our brothers.
All of you guys seem to be really close, right? That's the culture that Shoddy has really built for this organization. But talk about what's been the message from you and some of the older guys on this team to make sure, hey, these guys are still locked in. And, what's been kind of the message for those guys?
Yeah, and I think the main thing is just we have our job. This is how we go about it. Nothing changes from day to day for us, other than the week being really short. But it's still the same approach. It's still game prep. It's still got to be on your assignments and know what to expect out of it. Just because we're out of the playoffs doesn't mean the other team's not going to play either. There's even a matter of safety of it. If you're not out there and doing things the right way, you can put your own health in jeopardy and your teammates' health in jeopardy. So there is definitely a responsibility to going out there and giving everything your all.
Have you sensed maybe a little bit of extra emotion from some of the guys who may not be there next year at all? If it's okay to share.
I'm just trying to think, because really we weren't officially eliminated until this weekend, and we haven't. And just everything's so fast getting ready for the Thursday game. There isn't a whole lot of.
Is that a blessing, by the way, this week?
Yes and no. It is kind of nice to just flush the game and move on. And the hard part is, it was a physical game against the Chargers. We got some guys banged up, and just recovering for that Thursday game is tough. But there's definitely a little bit more is solemn, the word I'm looking for, in the locker room after Sunday night. Just kind of dang. We really want to make that push, and especially after everything we've been through this year, and the runs that we've been on, both up and down, and Marshawn, and is just a lot that this team's gone through together. So, like you said, there's a little bit of sadness of, dang, we left a little bit on the table,
All right, I'm going to ask you a question that, if we weren't friends, would sound really, really rude.
Okay.
Most players that I've talked to, I talked to a quarterback today. He would be in the group. Once they've played more than a year or two, they all say, hey, I don't feel human till Thursday, really. The body just takes such a pounding. And I asked him today, I said, how are you feeling? He said, I'm okay. And I said, how do you get your brain to get your body to shut up when it's Monday, except it's Thursday, and Thursday's when you feel good, but you don't feel good yet? And he was talking about, yes, that's a thing. So you and Brian Anger, and Brandon Aubrey, will include him in this too. You tend to, most of the time, that could be a little different for you on punts. Most of you'll get a little less banged up than some other guys. I won't insult you by saying that.
I'm well aware. I like that part.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. I'll bet you do. So how sore are you normally after a game, and how sore are you today, knowing that you've got your next game's in 3 days?
Yeah, so really the part of me that really gets sore is my hamstrings, hips, like into my lower back, just being down in my snapping position. And I probably snap 80 to 100 balls on game day, just kind of depending on how many possessions we get, how many balls Brian and Brandon want to hit during pregame. Fortunately, they don't take too many, but I like, whenever they're kicking, I like to be snapping to them. So I don't really have a ton of the like physical impact, but there is definitely some fatigue, and it's probably more reset of the nervous system that I need to do, to where like usually when I come back and practice on Wednesday, my body's not as explosive as it is on Sunday. So just getting to that point where everything's firing, and the timing of my snap body wise, that everything's coming out. I usually feel good on like feel better on Thursday essentially, and then kind of dial it back down the next couple days, and Sunday feel pretty good. But like I said, I start to feel better on Thursday, and thankfully we play Thursday.
So it's Thursday. How you feeling?
Yeah, you're right.
I'm looking at the clock because there's a subject I want to get into with you that will take more than about the minute or so that we've got left. But Nicole and I talk to players all the time who have routines about. You were talking about your back and your hips, and guys use acupuncture and massages and all kinds of different things. And that part of your job is something I bet people never think about, the beating that your back and hamstrings could take. Mm-hmm. Do you have a routine? Do you have a physical rehab routine that you like?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, like, the team's done a really good job of having some good chiropractors around, and
shout out Dr. Fred Casper.
Yeah, for Dr. Casper and Dr. Fry do a great job. So I go into them virtually on a daily basis and get work done there. And then on like Mondays and Tuesdays, I have a cupping and needling routine that I go through. And I haven't done it as much this year because I'm trying to keep my daughter alive, or try to help my wife with the kids a little bit more. But
and this is the 6-month-old.
Yes, the 6-month-old.
Okay.
Yeah, that, and just we haven't really had a regular week, so I haven't been on the regular routine. Usually, I'd get needles done on Monday. I get like 70 needles put through my posterior chain typically, but we just haven't had like a full time to reset, because usually when I come back on Wednesday, I'm still pretty sore from the needling. Then the body feels good, but just need to be able to feel good enough to practice.
Well, I've been doing this for a very long time, and you are the first person who has ever discussed having 70 needles in their posterior chain. And we're not going to let it off the hook with that. We're going to pursue that. We are on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. It's the Feliz Navidad edition.
Come on, Span.
Right.
Look at you.
I lived in Puerto Rico for 2 years.
Really? I did not know that.
See, you never asked.
That's impressive.
You
My
never
bad.
asked. It is the absolute happy. You know, I would have thought Feliz Navidad would have gotten a little something, huh?
Oh.
A little.
All right, let's try that again.
It's the Feliz Navidad edition. We're at Sidecar Social, the Star District in Frisco, on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour with our special guest, Cowboys long snapper Trent Sieg, and we're brought to you by
Albertsons. When it comes time to shop for tailgate favorites, go to Tom Thumb and Albertsons. Get 10% off your groceries every Dallas Cowboys game day when you wear your Cowboys jersey. Tom Thumb and Albertsons, the official supermarket and pharmacy of the Dallas Cowboys.
A great name for a rock band, the Posterior Chain. We'll be right back.
to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll wish you a Merry Christmas again on the Cowboys Radio Network on Thursday when the Cowboys play in Washington at noon Central Time. And so today, for our guest, long snapper Trent Sieg, is Thursday, and he's going to be trying to tell his body for the next 24 hours that it is not the day that you think it is, body. But Nicole and I were discussing, Trent, during our break just there, that neither of us has ever contemplated asking someone, probably paying someone, to approach us with 70 needles to insert into our posterior chain, and I'm not even sure I want to know what that is, but yes, I do. Where does that, so you're talking about from in your back, and how high up your back does that start?
Yeah, so I usually go like up into my traps into the, you're really testing my muscle knowledge now, but like pretty much traps, I'll go down my triceps and into my forearms, because really that's, like my elbow care has been a big part. Like there was a couple years there where I'd get a lot of fatigue and soreness by the end of the year.
That
like
makes sense.
Kind of like tennis elbow.
Uh-huh.
And so kind of down through there, and then just pretty much all the way down glutes, hammies, and I don't do calves because that hurts too bad. But yeah, just
the needles hurt the calves.
Yeah, because when you needle, or the way I do the needling, it makes the muscle spasm a little bit. And if you ever had a calf cramp, it's essentially that.
Yes, no
so
thank you.
So you're like forcing that calf cramp, and so no thank you.
How painful is that?
Very. The only one that I think has looked worse is some people do it in the bottom of their feet.
No.
Not going
to
to do that one anytime soon.
But does it hurt in your back or in your
a little bit. It's just like for a second, and then the spasm goes away. And it's really the main thing that I tell the guys. Like I have seen definite results from the needling where, yes, I'm sore the next day, but once you work out that soreness, I feel great.
So how long do you typically keep the needles in?
Like 10-ish minutes, 5 to 10 minutes.
10 minutes with a needle, I want no parts. Nope.
But then you and I don't do for a living
That's
what
very
Mr.
true.
Sieg does.
It gives me some quiet time away from the kids, honestly,
Yeah.
so I accept it.
Yeah. I want to go back to your soreness. Do you ever get sore like in a game at all?
Yeah, like I was saying, my elbow
Yeah.
will at sometimes, but really since I've got onto this routine of the needles and kind of found a good warm-up routine for it, it hasn't been much of an issue.
Yeah.
That and I found a good mix of staying warm and sitting down on the sideline to where I don't get too sore. But every now and then, if there's a really long drive, we'll usually sit while the defense is on the field, and I'll stand up and move around while the offense is out there. But if there's a drive that lasts a little bit longer, or there's a big quarter change and some injury timeouts, then start to stiffen up a little bit. But I wouldn't say necessarily sore at that point.
Okay.
So we all who watch the team play marvel at Brandon Aubrey's consistency. It's just ridiculous that he does what he does.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, with such apparent ease and regularity, and I always think that, but you're not paying attention to the long snapper,
which is good.
Well, when's the last time you had a bad snap? And what do you call a bad snap?
Well, so actually on Brandon's fake, my snap was a little bit inside, so I wasn't super happy about that. And really that was like...
Now, you knew the fake was on.
Yeah.
So were you hurrying it or doing anything different, you think?
I think mentally I was like, all right, the snap doesn't need to be as good, doesn't need to be out over the spot. It just needs to be easy to handle. So I put it in Brian's body a little bit, and then it ended up being a little bit more, which Brian's great, so it's fine. But, I mean, I've definitely had bad snaps, but...
Stop. What's a bad snap to you? Define a bad snap to you.
So to me, like, essentially I think of it like a strike zone on a batter in baseball, like maybe a little bit tighter, where it's like mid-thigh to like sternum, and want to keep it on the body so that Brian's not stepping side to side. He can keep all his momentum going forward. If I make him flip his hands over, that slows down the op time, which increases odds of blocks, and it also messes with Brian's timing because he's practiced dropping from down here so much. So whenever you're watching a punter catch the ball, you want to see them catch with their hands down like that. And so I've definitely had a couple this year that are like down around the knee where he has to bend over into it, and it makes him have to stand back up. So that's where I start to say, okay, that wasn't a good snap. I need to do better. But if it's on his body, and he doesn't really have to move side to side or flip his hands, then I'm usually okay with it.
But you're in the 95% area of doing that, aren't you?
I hope so. I haven't done the numbers on it, but yeah, I'm.
Well, I mean,
I'm
in
usually
your
there.
head, you know how many,
Yeah.
roughly. You know,
Yeah,
you haven't had 10 bad snaps, by your definition, all year.
Yeah, probably not. Probably like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
How much pride do you take in being the guy who helped make that field goal happen or punt happen? How much pride do you take in that?
I definitely take pride in it because it's what I do. So I
Yeah.
have to get some self-worth somewhere, you know. But but it's definitely
That's
a
why
thing.
you got married, Trent.
Right. It's definitely a thing, and like on the counter of that, whenever there's a missed field goal, I'm like, dang it, what did I do? So I definitely know I impact it, but I like to think like I just got to get the ball to Brian and just let Brian and Brandon do whatever they do, and just try to stay out of their way because they're great at what they do.
Well, this might as well be the time that we talk about how you got into doing this. So, in high school in Colorado, you were a linebacker and a tight end?
Yes.
Did you snap then also?
I did, yeah. So I started snapping in middle school, actually. So
What made you do that?
my dad played Division II ball at St. Cloud State in Minnesota, and he told me that he'd always look over at the specialist during practice and be like, those guys have the life.
Because they don't seem to be
Yeah,
doing
'cause they're
anything when
just
the rest of us are working?
Yeah, just screwing around over there, doing whatever specialists do. So he always told me from the time I was probably like 6th or 7th grade, like, hey, you need a snap. Like, if nothing else, it'll help you get recruited to go into college. And it did. I ended up walking on at CSU mostly as a snapper. I had some other opportunities at some other schools, but CSU was home to me. I loved talking to the coaches there. It's 20 miles away from where I grew up, and it's just a really great place where I wanted to be, and just stuck with snapping and just riding the wave until I fall off.
There is a misconception, I think, among people that, maybe you guys are athletes in the same way that kickers are athletes, and it's just not true. When I started doing this job in 1741, there were no, thank you very much, 2 or 3 of you for paying attention to that. There were not even special teams coaches. And literally, when I started doing this job, most teams had a long snapper and a short snapper, and they were not the same guy, placements and punts. And the long snapper was D.D. Lewis, who just passed away this year, and he was a tremendous linebacker, one of the best linebackers the Cowboys had for years. And he had this great technique that I saw him win a game in Washington. He learned how to move his head without flinching any part of the rest of his body to draw the other team offside. And I saw him win a game when they drew somebody offside and got a first down and went and won the game. The point is, there weren't long snappers. And I don't remember when long snappers came into the game, but I do know in the 30-something years ago in the Super Bowl teams, Dale Hellestray was an outstanding offensive lineman, at SMU, played on good teams. And one of the guys that followed him, Jeff Robinson, who was called Mr. Salty, he was a tight end. He played tight end in the league. I don't remember L.P. Lattisar doing anything but long snapping, but he did in college.
Yeah, he was a defensive lineman coming out.
So certainly you're a young man. All of your life in the NFL, long snappers are just long snappers. I don't specifically remember guys being super different positions, but I would say most of the guys in the NFL grew up playing another position, and
it is getting a little bit more to where, like, all right, kids are growing up and, like, okay, I'm going to be a snapper, where I think a majority of guys in the league right now, and when I came in, is like, I'm trying to be a linebacker. I'm trying to be a tight end, and snapping is my way to just give that little extra to be on the team and contribute, you know. And then it turns out, like, oh, crap, I'm really good at this. So just go on and do that. Yeah, right. Another guy Luke Rhodes for the Colts, he didn't snap in college at all. He was just a linebacker. And
Started in the pros.
Yeah, he was on practice squad with Indy and learned how to snap there and just worked his way up. And now he's multiple-time Pro Bowler, been playing for, gosh, probably 9 or 10 years now. So.
Did you always enjoy, you said you were a long snapper in middle school. Was that something that you always enjoyed, or did you prefer to play linebacker or tight end?
For sure play linebacker or tight end. It's not, and this is the conversation that I have with Brian and Brandon of, like, I'm like, when I retire, I'm probably never gonna go out and long snap again, except for, like, as a party trick. Like I'm not ever gonna go to a field and be like, oh yeah, look at this snap, that really looks good. Where, like, I know Brian and Brandon will go out and, like, it's cool to freaking hit a ball 65 yards, you know.
Yeah.
And I snap, it's like, yeah, the laces were out, and so like I definitely enjoy being part of the team and contributing, and I take a lot of pride in what I do and enjoy being around the guys. But I'd much rather be out there catching touchdowns or sacking the quarterback, you know.
Or running down the field and recovering a fumble on Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
Now, when Brandon Aubrey makes a tackle, it's because somebody in the kickoff coverage team didn't do their job, and a guy is running back, and then everybody says, don't hit anybody. Well, you're in bubble wrap. We don't want you touching anybody.
Exactly.
But you are streaking down the field like the natural athlete you are.
Very generous to put it that way.
That's
so thank you.
what I'm here for. It's Christmas. and then you make a play like that. How exciting. Was that the most exciting play you've had as a pro?
Oh, by far. It definitely, that's the thing that every snapper just dreams of, when, just that opportunity of the ball bouncing out right in front of you. And my only regret is I didn't try to score. I could have really just get to the peak of my career instantly. But yeah, it's been.
Oh, you'd have been in the Long Snappers Hall of Fame.
Oh, for sure.
Instantly.
But yeah, I mean, I've been playing for 8 years, and that's the first time I've had an opportunity like that. So I'm just glad I was able to make a play on it and do something good. AC and Keith did a great job of knocking the ball out, and just try to be around the ball and good things happen, you know.
All right, you mentioned the guy in Indianapolis, Rhodes, who's a Pro Bowler. So you'll pardon me if this is uncomfortable, but I mean, Trent Sieg should be the Pro Bowl long snapper. He just should.
Here.
Okay, and you've been very creative. You're a little slow, but that's all right. Thank you. You've been very creative in some of the things you've done in the last couple of years on social media to try to promote yourself, which you must do in the fan voting. So the fan voting this year, this is just such an interesting story to me. The fan voting this year, again, was won by the Vikings long snapper Andrew DePaula. Am I saying his last name right?
DePaula.
Yeah. Now the final voting won't be. Is it tomorrow that they have it? Because the players and coaches' votes have to. So we're not done yet. But so DePaula has been a Pro Bowler 2 or 3 times. He's been All-Pro long snapper 2 or 3 times, and you replaced him in your first professional job.
I did, yeah. Yeah, he was coming off an ACL injury, and I think the main thing when I ended up replacing him was they liked that I was younger than him. So, but no, Depot's a great snapper. So, like, if I'm going to lose Pro Bowl to anyone, I'm happy it's him. He's been awesome. He was a great mentor to me when I was in Oakland with him, and I still text him like, "Hey, what do you do when you guys go against this team? Like, do you have any tips?" And he'll do the same. So I just ton of respect for him and the work that he's done. That being said, I would love to dethrone him and just be able to rub that in his face a little bit.
Can you talk about some of the creative things you've done to kind of pitch yourself that Brad was mentioning a little bit?
Because you're pretty good at it. You do that yourself, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because long snappers are not like quarterbacks that have social media teams.
Yeah, I don't have
Yeah,
the whole 5 people producing my social media, but yeah. So essentially, the main thing I've done is just do like those big face or big headshots and just crop my face onto players and just try to do it with funny memes and try to engage with the audience. I know probably most of my following is teenage boys, so try to let them know that I'm still young at heart and I'm up to date with all the memes. And last year I pasted my face on a bunch of like really well known highlight tape saying it was me. Like I put myself on Tavon Austin's highlight tape, and I think maybe like Reggie Bush or something like that. And this year I just posted my fumble recovery about 35 times.
Yeah, so that should be all you need to do. All right, I got us a little bit behind. We're going to take a break and come back and talk some more about the art of long snapping and other things related to that. Trent Sieg, the Cowboys long snapper, is our guest on the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour.
And we're brought to you by Luke Casey. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Luke Casey. Shop the collection today at Luke Casey's 6 DFW locations or online at lukecasey.com. Luke Casey, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
And we are at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco, and we'll be right back.
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour. Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco. Brad Sham and Nicole Hutchison, and our very special guest, Cowboys long snapper Trent Sieg. This is the Merry Christmas edition of the Cowboys Hour. I hope everybody is in a holiday, festive mood. Do you do your own shopping?
If Amazon counts, yes.
counts.
counts.
Sure.
Okay, yeah,
it
I
counts.
do, yeah.
Because it doesn't, well, unless you pay extra for it to come wrapped, then you're just
No,
trusting.
I make my wife wrap it.
Trent. What
I mean, I wrap it.
Yeah. What about for your wife? You don't make her wrap her own presents.
Oh, no, of course not.
No.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's.
Do you wrap those?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wink.
Sure. Let's go with that. All right. I want to go back to what you told us your dad said, that you be a long snapper, because I've seen these guys in practice. The fact is that the three of you, punter, kicker, long snapper, on any team, I presume it's this way in college, but it's certainly this way in the NFL. You guys spend an inordinate amount of time together, the three of you. Now, all the wide receivers are in the wide receiver room and they're in the offense room, but you guys are different because a lot of the time you're off, the three of you, working on your own stuff while they're practicing. And so my question is, have you ever been on a team where of the three of you, one or two of you just didn't fit?
I would say I've been very fortunate that I haven't, but
Do you hear stories?
Yeah, where it's kind of like go in and you're like, okay, they're my coworkers, but like everywhere I've been very close to pretty much everyone. I'd say at CSU maybe not as much, just because I think at one point we had 11 guys in the room.
Really?
Yeah, I think we had like 4 punters and 3 kickers, and
Okay.
2 snappers. and
Yeah.
whatever that adds up to.
But when it's three, and
You
then
went- yeah,
I
and
guess some
like I
teams-
still like enjoyed all the guys. They're still all my friends.
yeah,
but
yeah.
3, it's just a lot easier to.
although
come
some,
together
I
with
guess
3.
some teams on the practice squad might have another kicker,
Yeah.
but it's going to not be more than 4.
Yeah,
So
at
I mean,
most 4.
that you got to get along, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think I've been very blessed with Brian and Brandon. Like we all are very cohesive, and we know what each other expect, and we want what's best for each other, and we know how to respond with each other, you know. And it's all very natural, which is great because Brandon, when he first got here, was like super quiet. So it's been awesome to see him come out of his shell a little bit. And
So
like,
the Brandon we see now is out of his shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
which is
Good.
crazy,
okay,
right?
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it really is a brotherhood. But I have heard some stories of like other guys being like, yeah, I go to work and like they're my coworker. You know, like go in, we do what you need to do, and you're still working. But I just think it's got to be way less enjoyable when you're not there, just ragging on each other like brothers do.
So
How often,
go ahead. No.
How often outside of football do y'all spend time with each other?
Since we've all had more kids, it's gone down significantly. It would help if Brandon would move up north with where the rest of us are. But I mean, we definitely we probably do something like every couple weeks as with each other, and then in the off season, we go golf together and just do like my wife will give me crap. She's like, oh, you want to go and hang out with the guys that you just spent 7 hours with today, and like rather than hanging out with your family. Like you're invited too.
Rather than me and these 2 little babies.
Right. Yeah, but I'm like, you're invited too. She's like, well, then I just end up watching the kids while you guys hang out.
So everybody who watches the Hard Knocks NFC East, anybody watching that? Anybody watching that series? Nobody's watching that series.
Nope. We got some back there.
So there's a scene
Nice.
last week where you and Anger are at the Aubrey's house having dinner with Mr. and Mrs. Aubrey. Where were your wives?
My wife was in the back room watching the kids. So like I said, when she got, she has to.
I just thought that was
Yeah, I mean, Brian's wife was out of town. She was at a wedding,
okay.
so she gets a pass. My wife, the kids, as we were discussing in the pre-show, I have a 3.5-year-old, and that's not exactly conducive to getting good audio while you're filming for Hard Knocks. So they went and my kids went and played with Brandon's son in the back room, and we did our filming.
Well, you could have done what was it 2 weeks ago? We had Logan Wilson
Oh
here
yeah.
and his daughter is 18 months.
Coming up on the stage.
Oh,
So
really?
cute. So cute.
She was adorable. She's
Yep.
the cutest thing you ever saw, and she was ubiquitous.
That's weird.
I just thought that was great. And so do you ever have a crossword? The three of you?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Like serious?
I mean, I want to say serious, but like I said, we're all competitors.
Yeah, I'm
and-
not talking about just, beating on a guy because that's what guys do. I'm talking about like, I'm mad at you.
Yeah, but like not ever over football. It's like more. We have like competition Thursdays where we come up with these ridiculous games,
Say more.
and there's always some like really crazy rule like in just somebody tends to try to skirt those rules.
Not going to mention any names.
I won't say who, but
But
I
it
mean,
rhymes with
He's definitely the oldest guy in the room.
Brian Anger.
But so there is a lot of like we try to call each other out and just
Gamesmanship.
talking crap, and then every now and then they'll be like, oh, a little bit of like, oh, you're full of it, and just going back and forth.
What kind of games are you competing at?
Usually it's some version of like bocce ball.
What's that? Wait, what's bocce ball?
It's like where you got a
actually
ball,
fun.
where you got a ball and just like, all right, there's this mark right here. We're all going to throw the ball. Whoever ends up closest to it wins.
Okay.
So we'll do that with like footballs. The other day, we did it. We had a football, a basketball, a medicine ball, a pylon, a die, and
These were the things you were throwing.
a golf ball. Yeah. So it was like, and we had to get them all
my.
to land in the middle of the star, and you got a point if it was in the star.
Inside the Ford Center?
Yes.
Oh, this. Where's the camera crew on that?
We told them to go away, but so like that, or we'll throw a football and try to hit a crossbar. Or one of my favorite ones is we make like a little impromptu golf course, and we'll roll a football and like in the weight room, and the ground's really hard, so it rolls forever. So it's really hard to get it to like actually go where you want it to. And so it's just a bunch of stuff like that, and it's like, oh, this should count, this shouldn't count, and then we get all heated, and we all stick to our guns, whether we're right or wrong, and just dig our heels in. So
You guys really do have too much time.
For sure.
Don't you? Yeah.
Seems like y'all have a lot of fun together.
yeah,
though,
no,
too.
it's great. I mean, it's nothing that lasts more than 24 hours. You know, it's like every now and then I'll go home. Like, Carly, Brian cheated today.
All right, well, we're going to take our last break, and Trent and I are going to explain what bocce ball is to Nicole, and then we will be right back with more of the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour at Sidecar Social at the Star District in Frisco with our special guest, Trent Sieg. We'll be right back.
Altec Lansing has been
Back to the Miller Lite Cowboys Hour, supported by Albertsons.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Hour. We are at Sidecar Social in the Star District in Frisco with Nicole Hutchison. I'm Brad Sham. Our special guest, Cowboys long snapper Trent Sieg. Have you played bocce ball?
Not the official version, only the football version.
Only the. Well, how did you know that it was like bocce ball?
Because I've been told it's like bocce ball.
Well, I should have showed you. I looked it up and showed Nicole. It's fun. It's actually fun.
I've seen it. I just haven't ever like.
Oh, you'd enjoy it. You'd enjoy it. Okay, we've got them lined up to talk to Trent Sieg.
Oh, boy.
We haven't had a line of questioners this long for. Am I right?
No, you're
for
right.
anybody all year. No.
No, all year.
All year long. We've had the big stars, but they're not lined up like they are for Sieg.
That's
okay,
right.
let's start right here.
Good evening, Trent.
Hey.
My name's Rambo.
I like the movie.
Well, unfortunately, I have no money, no fame, just a name.
Okay.
So, with the Texas high school landscape in regards to football, would you ever consider possibly in the next life coaching high school football here in Texas?
That is something I've actually been tossing around in my head a little bit. I have zero want to coach in the college and NFL level, but I could definitely see myself doing something like helping out specialists in the area. Like I've done some lessons with high schoolers already, but I could definitely see myself like helping out with special teams or something at one of the high schools I live close to, and especially if my son's going through it, love to be a part of something like that.
And why would you not want to do that at the college or professional level?
Because it's way too many hours. They put their work in. Hats off to them. It's a lot of film, a lot more film than I want to watch.
How much do you watch?
I mean, I'll watch like the rushes and get a good idea of what the team we're coming up against for the week, but usually there's like 20-ish rushes,
right?
And then like I'll watch some field goal maybe if they have a good guy just to be aware of, but it's definitely not strenuous. It's maybe like an hour a week that I really have to look at it. Like I've gotten to a point where I've played long enough that there's only so many ways to rush a punt, and the game's kind of slowed down a little bit, so it's more being aware of personnel than anything.
You signed with the Ravens,
Correct.
right? Initially,
Yes.
out of Colorado State, free agent, and then you went to the Raiders, who were in their last year in Oakland, and what were you, 3 years, 4 years?
Well, I did 2 in Oakland and 3 in Vegas.
Yeah, so 5 with the Raiders. So the reason I'm asking that is, at what point in there did you start to think, oh, my dad was right, this was the thing to do?
Well, I mean, when the first paycheck hit.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Hello, Trent. Larry from McKinney.
Hey, Larry.
For myself and all the fans worldwide, wishing you and the other players Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas to you as well.
What can you remember as far as going back to when you were growing up, your most favorite cherishable Christmas moment? And do you share those traditions with your family now?
Love that.
Really, we used to always just go to my grandma's house, and she'd have her holiday ham, and it was actually a ham loaf that she would make, and that was like our go-to thing, and just having, gosh, how many people? Probably like 20 plus people around, and just all the chaos that comes with that, and yeah, just being around them. That I'd say that, and we still I've got the recipe from my grandma to make, so we make ham loaf whenever, or it was our Easter and our Christmas meal, so we still keep that going.
And by we, you mean your wife?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
My wife and I supervise. And
You read her the recipe.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, just the chaos of the family. That's the best part.
Thanks, Larry.
Hello, my name is Angela. I was wondering, what's your favorite meal to eat after a long game?
Oh, what a great question.
a long
And right at dinner time. Angela, that's so great. Thank you.
It's really tough to beat a good ribeye and some mac and cheese. That's usually my go-to.
Now,
like
what do you
your-
eat for pregame? And when?
So I'm trying to think of the timeline here. So on Sunday, our bus left at 8:30, so I ate breakfast at 8 o'clock. And regardless of the time of the day, I always eat the same thing, which isn't always my favorite thing. I'll always have like a filet and some pasta and like some fruit, just to make sure I get a good carb load, some protein there, because I'm big on, or when I have food in my stomach, I definitely feel it. So then I don't eat again until the game's over. So go from essentially 8:30 until when was the game over? 3:30, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just water between then.
Yeah, and so I think I interrupted you. A big steak after the game.
Yeah. Steak and mac and cheese is just the main go-to.
Do you like your steak well done or medium?
No, I enjoy my steak, so I go medium rare.
Medium rare.
Just in case you like it well done.
I do.
Okay.
I'm going to try to squeeze in 2 questions if I
Okay.
could.
Sure.
Brad asked you earlier what was a bad snap to you.
Mm-hmm.
But is there a bad snap? What is a bad snap to your coaches? And is there times when you come off the field, they're waiting for you to coach you up?
I'd say it's a discussion that we have throughout, especially learning a new coach, where we just like, all right, this is the expectation, this is where the ball should be. And I'd say for the most part, we're where we should be. And it's kind of dependent on the coach, on if they're going to say something to you on game day. Like when I was with the Raiders, I was with Coach Bisaccia. Love him, but man, he would get after you if it was bad.
And Rich was here.
Yeah,
we
Rich was
love
here.
Rich, and Rich is involved.
Yes, and like with Bones and Nick, they've been a lot more like, unless something really needs to be said. Like I first thing I come back and do. Brandon watches my snap for me, and he tells me where it is, and I usually have a good feeling just based off of the feel of the release. So nothing needs to be said to me at this point. Like I'm probably my toughest critic.
Secondly, a lot of fans don't know who their long snapper is.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
That's right.
But I don't know if you can answer this, but who is the backup long snapper?
Ferg it's either Ferg or Hunter, depending on how the competition goes for the week. They each get 1 snap during the week.
One snap.
It's like a live snap, and it's kind of like, okay, if we have to get out of it, who do we feel more comfortable with? So, and they've both been getting better. So, or like they have 1 competition snap, then we'll get a few more after practice. But that competition snap is like put a little bit of pressure on it, and yeah, just see whoever's like, all right, Trent goes down, we got to make a kick. Who's up?
Lipke does everything. I'd be shocked if it wasn't.
He's a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I've called him that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Absolutely right.
So I've seen that players normally like pick up golfing in their free time. Like Solomon Thomas likes watching Broadway shows. What hobbies have you picked up outside of football?
That's what I'm talking about.
I was really into video games for a while.
Until about 3 years ago?
Until about 3.5 years ago when my son was born. But I've definitely gotten more into golf here in the last couple of years too. And it was a terrible time to get into golf because that was after my son was born. And now instead of me disappearing into my room for an hour to play video games, I'm gone for 5 hours to golf. So yeah, golf is definitely my hobby right now.
And Banger likes to play golf.
Yes, yeah. Banger and Brandon just got the bug this offseason too. So 3 of us are going out there getting after it. And Brandon's just a natural athlete, so he's already better than me.
Who's better? Who's the best out of y'all?
Brian is when nobody's around.
But he can't handle the heat.
I don't know. He shoots really good when none of us are with him. But
he just comes back and tells y'all reports.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, he's definitely the best. But according to him, he's really the best. But it's kind of neck and neck. It's probably Brian, and then me or Brandon, depending on the day.
That's the music that says we got 30 seconds left. So use 10 of them to tell us the best Christmas present you ever got.
Oh, goodness. Really putting me on the spot. There go my 10 seconds. I got a snowboard when I was like 8 years old, and that was awesome. We used to go skiing all the time.
Impressive.
Trent Sieg, wish him happy Thursday and Merry Christmas. Thank you. Appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Merry Christmas, everybody. Nicole and I will be back for our final show of the year next week on the Cowboys Hour.
Get ready.